Another parade, another bloody negotiation.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, and based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you. Our real concern is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
How have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise de Lyon, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Since Corypheus fell, I think you may have spent more time traveling than I have.
It keeps me out of trouble, Your Worship. I should mention that your forces at Suladin Keep were of great help. Please give my compliments to Baron Deschedin. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
You can probably just call her Cassandra in private conversation.
You can, Inquisitor. I prefer to use her divine name. Our last divine once joked about why I insisted upon calling her Justinia. She called it my way of reassuring her that I had not completely forgotten who was in charge.
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With respect, that's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
Victoria says she is better suited to the battlefield than the Sunburst throne, but she has restored the Chantry. And also people's faith in it. We are lucky to have her.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, Your Worship. The Divine sees the good that you can do and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Orlais. I believe he is currently speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
The Imperium sent an ambassador?
Yes, Your Worship. Dorian Pavas has taken the chance to return from Tevinter. It will be good to see him again. I owe him my apology. I allowed my distrust of Tevinter to cloud my judgment. He took a great risk coming to help us, and deserved better treatment.
You're going to apologize? To Dorian?
I have little patience for those who cannot admit they were wrong, Your Worship. Myself included. I will have to make my apologies somewhere public. He will want an audience for his reaction.
Who has returned for the Exalted Council?
Your dwarven friend, Master Tetras, for one. I understand he spent much of the last few years in Kirkwall. I believe Sir Blackwall has returned as well, although he now uses the name Tom Ranier. Enjoy time with them while you can, Your Worship. I doubt you will have the chance once the Exalted Council is underway.
Thank you, Mother Giselle.
Your Worship, a final question, if I may. This Exalted Council, Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Orlais sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
Corypheus is dead. We accomplished what we set out to do. If we're not needed any longer, and if it can be done peacefully, it may be time for the Inquisition to disband.
Thank you. Maker watch over you, Inquisitor. I will not keep you any longer.
Divine Victoria. Am I interrupting?
Not at all. The Jarl of Redcliffe was telling me of events in Denerim. He represents Ferelden at the summit.
Inquisitor. Good to meet you.
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
I had hoped to steal a moment of the Divine's time.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
I am supposed to be impartial while speaking for the Chantry, but I confess that neutrality is beyond me. I may be the Divine, but I will always be your friend. And I can hardly ignore the fate of the Inquisition that I began.
When world powers want to discuss plans for the future, I get nervous.
I share your concern. The Inquisition is still needed. Some delegates do not yet understand that. I must attend to other matters. If you need me, I am ready to assist. Unconditionally.
I'm glad you finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
I appreciate knowing where Ferelden stands.
You are owed that, Inquisitor, especially here. These Orlesians will talk circles around you before you get a simple greeting out. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
Orlais is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition's support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet. Inquisitor, how long has it been? Don't actually tell me. I despise feeling old. It's good to see you, my friend.
Thrilled to be at the Exalted Council, Lord Parvis?
Oh, riveted. Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Pavis is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Orlais wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
Does your grace feel the Inquisition should continue to rule itself?
I would rather see the Inquisition join us freely than be carved into pieces for the chessboard. I have not forgotten Justinia's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is the good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
The Prince of Starkhaven wrote to you again.
Of course he did. Just put that one in the pile with letters from the Merchants Guild.
And the captain of the city guard had a very colorful message for me to deliver to you as well.
Inquisitor! Andraste's ass, am I ever glad to see you.
And the Inquisitor comes to the rescue once again.
Is that what you call it?
This is Bran Caven. Until recently, he was the Viscount
Provisional Viscount.
of Kirkwall.
And what are you doing now?
I have resumed my post as Seneschal now that Master Tethras has been elected Viscount.
You're the Viscount of Kirkwall now.
Well, it seems the two of you have a great deal to discuss. Why don't I just leave you to it?
So, it turns out you fund enough reconstruction efforts in a city-state, the nobles give you the worst job they can think of.
I might need to sit down. You're the ruler of Kirkwall now, all of it.
That's not that big a deal. I have a really pointy crown that I wouldn't be caught dead wearing, but that's it. They voted me in because I got the harbor and businesses up and running again. They want shit fixed, and I can do that. Anyway, I was hoping I'd catch you before the summit got underway. I got you a sort of present. It's official recognition of your title and holdings in Kirkwall. Congratulations. You're a Comtesse now.
You can't actually do that without...
Too late. Already did it. You should stop by Hightown sometime to see your estate. It's pretty nice. For Kirkwall, anyway.
Proper disposition of empty estates is supposed to...
You were leaving us to talk, remember?
What brought all this on? I'm pretty sure it's not Give Your Friends Lavish Titles Day.
Oh, what kind of Viscount would I be if I didn't abuse my position to give shit to my friends? I've got traditions to uphold. Oh, that reminds me. It's the key to the city.
You can't give that away without approval from the council and a special ceremony.
It's just symbolic anyway.
It controls one of the giant chain nets in the harbor.
Really? That is so much better than I thought.
Thank you, I'm touched. A little bit horrified by this key now, but still touched.
Please don't give anything else away.
I don't know how this council thing is going to end for the Inquisition. But whatever gets decided, you've got a place lined up in Kirkwall if you want it. Also, control of the harbor, I guess. Anyway, you should meet with the diplomats. And we'll get in a game of Wicked Grace before I go back, though, right?
I wouldn't miss it.
Don't bet any public buildings this time.
Fashionably late. I thought you weren't gonna show.
I'm late, and you decide to make the Winter Palace rubble.
Eh? Never liked it anyway. Too fancy. So tell me everything that happened while I was away. And after the betrayal, and what I put those men through, my sorries were worth about as much as shit.
How many people hit you?
I lost count at 12, but I could take a punch. They needed to know that there's a way to come back from anything. And I wanted to help them if I could. I thought going up there on the gallows was difficult. This was worse. 100 times worse. Anyway, it's nice to be back, though I'm not sure what to think of this council. No matter what, you know you can always count on my sword arm and my friendship.
I'm getting a little worried for the palace. And any passerby.
Inquisitor, I see you have time for afternoon refreshments.
Glimmering, glittering, perfect cut, mask a maze of gemstones. She will think it pretty.
Excuse me, I might,
You're useful to have around, Cole.
He wants stones the color of his eyes. Happy, bright, beaming, being seen, not seeing. And I needed the table.
For breadcrumbs.
Birds like breadcrumbs.
Inquisitor, how good to see you here. I came to sit and pen another song.
Sweet songs, poignant pain plants joy that grows later. She can't see me. I help her help people.
I gathered.
You're smart and kind. You're worthy of true love.
Hello, Halam Sharam! The fire of Zither must be fueled by wine, ideally shared with adoring fans.
But not with him. You need somebody nice. Yes, better. He'll be gentle, so will you.
You're with the Chargers, are you not? I've seen you in the Skyhold Tavern where I sing.
Oh, yes. I love your songs. Sometimes I'd sit up on the chair to take a better look at your songs. The Chargers have their own song, if you'd like to hear it.
Good.
You sure they'll both be all right when Krem tells her?
Strong arms, a sweet voice. Father wanted me to be happy.
Which one of them is that?
Both.
Here's you, and everyone. Glad to be back, all stuffed together. With the pressure full on. Again. Don't worry, Herald of Everywhere. I came prepared. I know what everyone needs. Just like best times.
I expected a roof.
It's early. Anyway, that was a good run. It's all been a good run. I needed that. And I need... You know it's ending, right? We can say it won't, but knobs in places like this, all they do is end things. They'll try a leash. Or worse. But maybe you aren't ready to quit just because some Lord Piddlebits is scared of us.
Is someone moving against us?
Sure. Start with everyone, everywhere. Point is, sooner, all this changes. And you've helped me understand. Too much. So it's my turn to help you. See, I have these friends, and all of them were the wrong sort of whatever. Their place changed, or it never was. So together, we made an us. Everyone needs an us. And when the world is done saying no and calls you the wrong sort of whatever, maybe we can be that us for you. What do you think, Inquisitor? Want to run some rooftops as a Jenny?
You want the Inquisitor? Don't I have a few more titles than your usual Jenny? No offense.
Some taken. Words. Look, we don't want you. We want to be there for you. If you want to keep doing, it won't be nobles who help. It'll be friends.
Well, all I have to say is... Call me Red Frigging Jenny.
Way too confusing. You'll get a city. One that rhymes with arse.
Oh! I should have said we needed a we instead of an us, because... Wait! Anus! So stupid.
To all my friends.
Always and ever, Inquisitor. Always and ever.
Sarah was never on the grid.
Creepy song is creepy. Ugh.
Your Worship, I'm glad you're here. Listen, I need you to keep the Chief distracted while we sneak this dragon skull through the room behind him.
I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
It's for his birthday.
I'll see what I can do, Krem.
All right, here he comes. Just keep him talking. He loves talking.
Hey, boss. Good to see you.
It's good to see that the Veil has largely healed, now that most of the major rifts are closed. You might think otherwise, but the Veil isn't technically a physical barrier. It's more like a magical vibration that repels the Fade. Most mages hate the thick of battle, but I can't imagine hanging back. It's nice to get your hands dirty.
That's why I like you, boss. You swing a sword. It's a weird sword made out of magic, but still.
I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Sure you can. They must have that thing almost across the room by now, right? Ben Hasrath, remember?
Surprise! Happy birthday, Chief!
Oh, you guys. You got me.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial Garden Spa, of course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
I've never heard of a fancy spa serving elves.
You are the Inquisitor, darling. Savior of the Empire. They won't turn you away.
What are the cheese wheels for?
It pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
Did you hear something?
Relax, darling. It's spa day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. How are things with our dear Commander Cullen?
Are you digging for gossip, Vivienne? Trying to get me to give up the juicy details?
Merely expressing concern for your well-being, my dear. Someone ought to.
Do you come to this spa very often?
As often as I can. Sadly, no more than twice a year at best. Duty first. Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
What happened?
Darling, it's spa day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know.
As the most eloquent dwarf you know, Sparkles...
Speech! Speech! Way too much speech.
Varric, there's really no need.
What's going on?
Inquisitor! You're just in time. Sparkles, the Imperium doesn't deserve you. Or want you. It may even kill you. But we'll miss you. If it counts. And you didn't know. Okay, folks. Time to take the party elsewhere.
Toma never wanted any. I swear.
Leave him.
It's true. When the Exalted Council has ended, I'm going back to Tevinter. For good, this time.
You know I'll miss you.
Naturally. My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the Magisterium. We only met a few times while I was home. He didn't say anything about keeping me as his heir. This ambassadorship, his doing, I'm told. He must have wanted me away when the trouble began. I have to go back.
So you'll truly be a Magister?
Oh, yes. I can't wait to degrade the Magisterium with my presence. A new outfit is required.
And then what?
I find my father's killers and kill them back. Then I find those giving Tevinter a bad name and kill them. They're most likely the same people, so that should make the job easier.
You'll need help. I could go with you.
Not this time, my friend. I won't be entirely without support. Mayveris has gathered other Magisters who feel as we do. We'll be an actual faction in the Magisterium. I'll teach them manners, take them shopping. It'll be fun.
I know it was complicated, but I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you. It still doesn't feel real.
I wish you safe travels, and the best of luck.
Oh, I'll need it, thank you. Magisters are tricksy bastards. A present. A going-away present. It's a sending crystal. Amazing what friendship with the Inquisition gives you access to. If I get in over my head, or you're overwhelmed with sorrow for lack of my velvety voice... magic. What? You didn't think I would just leave and you'd never hear from me again, did you? You are my dearest friend. Perhaps my only friend. That will never change, no matter where we are. Now let's finish the good wine before the others get back.
Oh.
Is everything all right?
Yes. Well, I wanted to speak with you, and now you're here.
Should I leave and come back later so you can try again?
Always with clever suggestions. Maybe you should sit.
I can stand.
Maybe I should sit. Inquisitor, I want you to know that I am your friend. I will always be your friend.
Oh, well, that's...
So I hope to give you sound advice on this momentous day. Do what is in your heart, my friend, no matter what anyone might tell you.
Maybe I should leave and come back. I think I missed the beginning.
I'm talking about marriage.
Marriage?
Cullen is not hard on the eyes, I'll give him that. But if you truly intend to... You're not proposing to anyone. I am going to kill Varric. Why do I believe everything he says? Why?
He said I was going to propose.
He mentioned a proposal. I suppose I filled in the blanks. Or he did this on purpose. That dwarf gets entirely too much joy from my discomfort.
I might get married. I've thought about it.
I suspected as much. Being Inquisitor has brought you good things. Many good things. But only a few have been by your choice. Take what happiness you can from those and do not let them go. That is all I meant to say. Advice from a friend for the days to come.
You there! You're to dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
You found a dog?
They don't breed Mabari in Olay. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owner's tired of the novelty.
Tire of you? With that positive attitude and fetching ability?
He's not supposed to fetch it.
I don't think you understand how this works.
Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
I never expected you to make friends at a political council. How times have changed.
So they have. The Inquisition will change after this. I'm not yet sure what that will mean. Still, I've found certainty in my life now. The Council won't change that. Marry me.
What?
I mean, will you... I had a plan, and there wasn't a dog, but you were... it doesn't matter. I've thought of little else, and I don't need a plan. Only to know if you would.
I would. Cullen, I will.
What is it?
Reciting vows to the Maker. That means nothing to me. But I know you.
I want your promise to be true.
People will notice the Inquisitor marrying her commander in the middle of the Exalted Council.
It won't go over well. We know a few people who can keep things secret. Just know, everything feels like it was worth fighting for.
Always so serious. Just focus here.
What happens now?
I make a promise. Soleis inaste var aravel. Lama. Aralas mirlath. Belanaris. And then you.
Oh, right. I swear unto the Maker and the Holy Andraste to love this woman the rest of my days.
Will you walk with me? The first time I came to the Winter Palace, I was only 18. I was dazzled. Such rich hangings, splendid marble columns, more golden lions than I could count. It's all still here, still bright, but I no longer see that same palace.
Everything changes. People, most of all.
Yes. Now all I can see are the knives in the shadows, the poison in jeweled goblets. They seek to tear the Inquisition down. You feel it, no? Fear.
I'd fear anyone with our Vault of Secrets, wouldn't you?
It is not our secrets, nor our soldiers. There have always been spy masters and private armies. They are afraid of nothing so much as the hand that directs it all.
Mine.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised it took this long. It may be time to end things.
The Inquisition has done enough, more than enough. Maybe it's time for us to lay down our swords and go home.
We set out to restore peace, and now peace is upon us. But I know from experience how hard it can be to lay down your blade and accept that things have changed. We can still work for the good of Thedas without the Inquisition, but the time for soldiers and spies has passed. You have suffered terrible things, Inquisitor. I hope you still see the light ahead of us. The world is ready to move past the horror of the Breach and Corypheus, and so should we. But whatever you decide, I will be honored to stand beside you.
It's been quite a day so far, has it not? I've been speaking with representatives from everywhere.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the Exalted Council becomes inescapable. The palace has been most accommodating. We are, after all, here at their insistence, but the ministers may... No. No more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
Then why can I still see those wheels turning in your head?
Work carries a certain momentum. The truth is, There is a small entertainment happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In all the years you worked with Orlais, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
I do wish you'd warned me the game would take more work after Halam Shiral.
It's strange. Those were somehow simpler times. With all that's been happening, I promised myself a single evening out. I'd very much like to go with a friend.
And what is this small entertainment?
Something to ease our minds. I would very much like to surprise you with the details.
Why not? Josephine, I put myself in your capable hands.
Splendid! I will arrange things at once. The past years have been so busy. We have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
Was the woman in gold playing a king? Who was the man in feathers?
Oh, it's all very simple. The first actor's mask is determined by... well, I will lend you the program guide. But tell me, did you enjoy the performance?
What I really enjoyed was seeing you put your duties aside for a change.
I truly did. Thank you for coming. It's been too long since I just spent an evening doing... nothing.
Here's to nothing. May it happen to us more often in the future.
Oh, look! The encore signal! Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
Yes, from bandits. Would you like us to give it back to them?
Your help was appreciated 2 years ago, Inquisitor. Now order has been restored, yet you remain. Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now the Inquisition is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. The Inquisition is the only reason Selene still has the throne.
Rest assured, Tegan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Sister Leliana asked to speak with you in private.
Something has come up. I'll be back.
What?
This is highly irregular.
Are we not even worth the Inquisitor's time?
Inquisitor, I thought you would want to see this. A Qunari warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace?
Would the Iron Bull know anything about this?
I asked, and he is as surprised as we are. Since becoming Tal Vashoth, he has had no contact with his people. He seems frustrated at not knowing more.
So, what would the Left Hand of the Divine see when she looked at this?
This is a warrior, not a spy. Part of the Antam, the Qunari military. Most of his wounds come from a fight against someone using magic, but at least a few are from a blade. He was badly hurt, separated from his allies, and made it here before he died. But how?
We need to find out what's going on. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around?
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will ask Divine Victoria to call a recess for now. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
You think that's likely?
I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected.
An active illuvian. If I'm going through it, I'm not going alone. This is the crossroads. Morrigan brought me here while showing me the illuvians. I'd forgotten all the colors. The blood trail leads to this mirror.
Right. Let's see where this guy came from.
Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore. Another Kunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
He's Karashok, a foot soldier. Must have been in the same squad.
A spell killed these Kunari. Someone cast it not even an hour ago. We need to find out why these Kunari were here and who did this to them. Over there, Kunari. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island. I don't understand. I'll try Elven. Andaran Atishan Sadaran. Considered us intruders.
To be fair, we are.
It must have been set to guard something. That was like Veilfire. It claimed this was a refuge for Elven slaves.
You mean the ancient elves kept slaves? Maker's breath. One more thing never to tell Daisy.
This whole valley was a sanctuary created by the dreadwolf Fen'Harel. This doesn't make sense. In Dalish legends, Fen'Harel is our god of misfortune. That illuvian only took us a short distance. That's the same lake we saw from the other tower.
Good for moving around a city, visiting friends, deploying guards. Cuts all over the back. He was killed by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry. This is Fen'Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
Kinda curious that this guy had to specify he wasn't a god.
Ordinary guy saves people, accidentally founds religion. Sounds a lot like the chant, actually.
This claims the Elven gods were just Evenuris, powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Whoever ran this place was trying to rebuild the slaves' confidence. Get rid of old propaganda.
If that's true, Fen'Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods.
You're hurt.
I'm not sure. It stopped at least. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge. What's this? Hidden weapons. These freed slaves actually fought back against the Evenuris posing as gods. This letter says the Kunari came to these ruins because the Eluvians connect to Halam Shiral.
So they're aiming for the Winter Palace.
It was some sort of infiltration. There's no more details.
This is crazy. They're acting like we're at war.
Are they?
I don't know, boss. I wish I did.
A note about an unknown intruder coming through an Eluvian. They turned spirits against us, then fled. 2 parties then. The Kunari, and a mystery agent determined to stop them. Come on, we have to warn people about the Kunari's designs on the Winter Palace.
One dead Kunari was bad enough. Now we have more, and they're hostile.
This makes no sense. The Kunari may not be friendly to the Inquisition, but they have no reason to attack us.
They also have no reason to be here, or using Eluvians at all.
I've had the mirror placed under guard for now.
It appears the relative peace and quiet of the last 2 years is coming to an end.
First the Blight, then Mages and Templars, then Corypheus, and now this. Can't we go 10 years without the world falling to pieces?
We must ensure that the Kunari do not disrupt the negotiations. The Exalted Council is in a very delicate state.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
Be that as it may, the Kunari must be our top priority. We can worry about the politics later.
My apologies. I will attend to the Exalted Council.
And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Kunari are doing and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
Mystical Elven mirror lead here.
We need to find out what these Kunari were up to. So let's go see, shall we? Look at all that. The Kunari have a huge operation here.
A lot of trouble waiting to happen.
They could bring the whole cabin down. This place isn't stable.
Stay back! Oh, wait. Your hand. Are you the Inquisitor?
Odd to find a human down in the deep roads at all, let alone one surrounded by Kunari.
We don't have much time. Please, what the Vidasala is doing, you have to stop her.
The Vidasala?
She's the leader of the Kunari here. She hates magic. Her job was to study it and stop it at all costs. Not anymore. I don't care whether you serve Fenharel or not. Someone has to stop her.
Why did the Kunari think that the Inquisition serves Fenharel?
I don't know. The Vidasala said it, and well, you're Dalish. It made as much sense as anything. We've had agents of Fenharel causing trouble all over the crossroads. Sabotage, making spirits attack us. I assume the Inquisition was their army. That you came here because Fenharel told you to.
Who are you exactly?
My name is Jeren. Sir Jeren, once. I was a Templar in Kirkwall. Until I joined the Qun.
You're Kunari?
Kirkwall was... madness. Chaos. The Kunari were like the eye of a storm. I stand for order and discipline. Protecting the innocent from magic. But this plan... it's as mad as Meredith ever was.
What do you mean? This Vidasala's not doing her job anymore?
Almost a complete reversal, actually. This place is a lyrium mining and processing center. The Kunari need it for... Have you ever heard of Sarabas? It's a mage. Except Kunari mages are much more dangerous than those among humans or elves. Even as a Templar, I'd never seen anything like the power Sarabas can unleash. And now Vidasala is giving them lyrium. A lot of lyrium. It's part of something she calls Dragon's Breath. There's more to it than that, but I couldn't find out what. The Kunari don't like it when you ask too many questions.
Where are we? Why are there elven mirrors in the deep roads?
This place is close to something like a lyrium spring. The more we mine, the more there seems to be. As for the mirrors, I don't know. Maybe the elves were mining here too.
What are you doing down here?
The Kunari wanted me to teach them everything I knew about lyrium. Where it comes from, everything it can do, how we put it to use. I knew enough from my time in the Order. They figured out more. I'm not sure how. Maybe they got to the Carter.
The Kunari can't be mining their own lyrium. It kills anyone who tries, other than dwarves.
It killed the Kunari at first. But Kunari workers have a discipline only Tranquil can match. And they're quick learners. They figured it out.
That's not seriously the name of the plan, is it? Dragon's Breath.
You know that most Dragon's Breath destroys everything in its path, right? She said it would save the South. That can mean only one thing. An invasion. This mine is the only source of lyrium the Kunari have. They're using Gatlock, the explosive powder in the round casks, to mine, so they don't have to touch raw lyrium. If you get the primers from Central Supply, you can prime the Gatlock and detonate it. The mines will go up in flames.
Even if I succeed, will that really stop the Vidasala?
It would be a start. Deep Stalkers and Cave-ins will cut off reinforcements, but they'll still come when they hear trouble. You've got to find the Vidasala to end this war before it begins.
There's no telling how bad things will get when I destroy the mine. You'd better get moving.
I will. Good luck, Inquisitor.
Let's go. We have a lyrium mine to ruin. We've got the primers. Let's go explode some Gatlock.
We're blowing this up, right? Brilliant!
here and warn the others about this Dragon's Breath plan.
Hopefully before this place floods any worse. Look at the water!
So, who gets to tell Cullen and Josephine we're probably at war with the Cure? Anyone?
As if.
They're going to kill me.
Dragon's breath. The Qunari always enjoy their metaphors.
But what does it mean?
Who knows? Qunari agents moving through Illuvians to attack the south is bad enough already.
I still do not understand why they accused the Inquisition of serving Fenarel.
Corypheus set himself up as a god. Maybe someone who knows Elven history is doing the same.
But how does that implicate us? What made them decide that the Inquisition serves this Fenarel?
Hopefully we will learn more after we have stopped them.
Let's see the Exalted Council try to disband the Inquisition after we've saved them from this Dragon's Breath.
We must find out what Dragon's Breath is first. For now, our only lead is the Qunari leader, the Vidisala.
Gentlemen!
My apologies, Lady Josephine. There has been an incident with one of your soldiers.
How dare you? It was bad enough that the Inquisition chose not to inform the Exalted Council of the Qunari corpse.
Orlais would have been happy to help with the matter.
But now your own guards are attacking servants? You have overstepped your bounds.
My plan to seize power in Ferelden would hardly start with soldiers scuffling in Orlais, Altegan.
While the Exalted Council is our foremost priority, the Inquisitor will, of course, address this matter personally.
Thank you, Inquisitor. Orlais stands ready to assist the Inquisition, as always.
Secrets and lies. Do you understand why we fear your Inquisition? You act as if you're the solution to every problem. How long before you drag us into another war?
What's going on here?
The Orlesians tried to take one of our people, Inquisitor. We've secured the area.
This is the Winter Palace. You cannot simply seize control when one of your guards attacks a servant.
The Inquisition is handling this. When some noble commits a crime of fashion, you can take over.
I only asked what he was doing.
And when I refused to bow to the Inquisition's dogs, you attacked me! How would you like us to handle the situation, Inquisitor?
That barrel there, where did it come from?
I was ordered to bring wine for the guests.
You're lying.
Your Inquisition soldiers are completely out of control.
No, we're in control. Keep talking and you'll find yourself in chains.
I apologize for my guard's actions. My people will take her into custody with your permission.
As you say, Inquisitor, Lord Cyril will hear about this.
Inquisitor, I also found this by the barrel. I can't read the language.
Did you resolve the problem with the guard?
The guard is the least of our problems. Someone smuggled Gatlock barrels into the Winter Palace.
Smile, Inquisitor. There are many eyes upon us. At least now we know the true extent of the Dragon's Breath.
How are you still smiling?
Years of training as a bard, Inquisitor. We cannot show weakness now. Enemies could be watching, or we can let them seize idle conversation between two friends.
You think the Dragon's Breath is these Gatlock barrels?
Of course. A surprise attack, even through the Illuvians, would have met fierce resistance. But if everyone at the Exalted Council died in an explosion, the South would be rudderless, vulnerable to attack. This is what Corypheus should have done after the explosion at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. An attack as swift and unstoppable as the breath of a dragon.
The guard who confronted the servant said she found this note near one of the barrels. It looks like Kunari writing.
Let me see. I picked some up from the Iron Bull, though I'm told my accent is atrocious. These are orders for positioning the Gatlock in the palace. When duty has been performed, report to the Vidisala through the mirror marked by a bookcase.
I've been hoping to meet the esteemed Vidisala. How nice of her to invite us over.
Good. While you do that, I will have agents locate the Gatlock barrels and remove them safely. I will also send word to my foreign contacts. We must see where else this dragon could strike.
An alluvion marked by a bookshelf. This should be it.
Good. Time to get some answers from the Vidisala.
Is this some sort of old Elven library?
There are traces of some ancient magical catastrophe in the air.
Let's hope we can track down the Vidisala in all this.
Andaran Atishan, Methadra Elven.
More ancient Elven.
If you wish, honored Elven, I will speak so your guests understand. I am study. I am a learning thirst. Come, know what has not been lost. New words, new stories. The Kunari would not approach, but we learned their words as well. If you wish to exchange knowledge, they congregate by the lower gate.
What did the old elves use this place for?
This is the Virdirthara, the living knowledge of the Empire. The libraries of every city, the wisdom of every court. A connecting place whose paths are in disarray.
What put this place into disarray?
The Virdirthara was made with world and fade. When they sundered, so did we. Paths broke, knowledge fragmented, many were trapped. I preserve their last words.
What were these old elves' last words?
What happened? Where are the paths? Where are the paths? God save me, the floor is gone. Do not let me fall. Do not let me... On this spot, that is all.
Thanks. Really paints a picture.
I'm looking for a Kunari named Vidisala. Do you know what she wants here?
Vidisala, yes. She uses scholars and mages for study. They fear this place, but they seek to know the Veil.
What does Vidisala want to know about the Veil?
I regret I do not have more information. I am sundered from myself. If you discover another one of me nearer the Kunari, I may know more. Kindly give it my greetings. I have not thought with myself for some time.
I could learn so much about my people. What were they like? How long is our history?
I will try to recall, honored patron, but there are gaps, breaks. Greetings, laughter, Ema Enasal, forms out of air, light, memories. And yet there are so many broken parts at every... missing. I cannot. There is no more. Apologies. I knew all once. We knew. With the break, only fragments or knowledge new since the fall.
We'll be going now.
Know this. An unknown person, not of the Kunari, recently woke the librarians.
An unknown person. Could this be our agent of Fen'Harel?
The librarians facilitated learning before the fracture, before the fall. Now, beware them. They are unwell.
That repaired some steps. Let's look around for more. The inverted alluvion must lead to the Kunari. Qunari are dead, but there's not a mark on them.
Backs hunched, eyes wide open. They were scared shitless when they died.
Welcome, welcome. Listen to the last words of those who lived past the fall. How could the dread wolf cast a veil between the world that wakes and the world that dreams? The Evenuris will send people. They will save us. When have you last heard from the gods? When the veil came down, they went silent. What is this veil? What has Fen'Harel done?
Are these records saying Fen'Harel created the veil between our world and the Fade?
They're saying some guy just made the veil? We must have been ass deep in demons before then.
Impossible. If there was a time the veil didn't exist, there would be some mention of it in human history.
These blocks are heading toward that upside-down alluvion.
Creepy. Helpful, but creepy.
It's a place of learning. Maybe this Vir Dathara is helping us find what we need.
Now it's even weirder.
Welcome, and listen to the last words of those who walked this place. If we get out of here, I will end Fen'Harel. After he held back the sky to imprison the gods, the dread wolf disappeared. Lies. We must tear down the veil, the cities, the pathways. Without magic, they're crumbling. You're wasting your time. Fen'Harel's veil has turned our empire to ruins.
So, the ancient Elven Empire collapsed because the veil weakened magic.
If the old elves relied on magic even more than the Vince, no wonder things went to crap when it dried up.
An empire run on more magic than we have ever seen. Perhaps it's best its little secrets remain lost.
That should be enough stairs. Let's see if we can reach the inverted alluvion now.
Survivor of the Breach, Herald of Change, Hero of the South.
The Vidasala, I presume.
After fulfilling your purpose at the Breach, it is astonishing to hear you still walked free among your people. Your duty is done, Inquisitor. It is time to end your magic.
The anchor repairs tears in the veil. I would think you'd approve of that.
Is that all it does? Tell me, why hold your hand as if it's begun to pain you? I am no stranger to catastrophe, but this chaos in the south defies comprehension. The Qun left your people to curb your own magic. You've amply proven we should have stepped in long ago.
Is that what Dragon's Breath is for? Murdering our heads of state just to control our magic?
Do you believe closing the breach solved everything? That its consequences stopped there? The day we saw the breach, the Qun decided its action. We would remove your leaders and spare those who toil. This agent of Fen'Harel has disrupted everything. Lives that were to be spared, lost for him.
Who is this agent? Why do you think they work for the Inquisition?
Kill the Inquisitor, then follow me to the Darvarad.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open.
Can you tell me where a Kunari called Vidasala went?
Yes, we heard much. Although she fooled herself into thinking we could not hear. Take a keystone to the Davarad. I will join you there soon and take stock of our remaining Gatlock powder.
I found a keystone with one of the Kunari.
Yes, and you need words for their key. Marast Nira. It glows. It will open the way to the Davarad. May you find what you seek. In coming here, you strengthen the promise. I can now raise one, if you wish to go.
You've been very helpful.
Gil-Dethan was what the Elven called me. One who guides seekers of knowledge true. I was connection. One city could read the records of another, one Elven feel the memories of another. When the veil fell upon us, I marked the end of all they knew.
We've got to find the Davarad and corner Vidasala there.
Your agents confirm there are Gatlock battles in Denerim's palace?
Yes, and in Valroyo and across the Free Marches. The Winter Palace is not the only target.
The Qunari are one order from destroying every noble house in the known world.
Oh, there is a bright side. Warning the ambassadors will remind them of the Inquisition's value.
Not when the Inquisition is responsible for that threat.
I take it you have new information?
The Elven servant handling the barrels has disappeared. Notes in his quarters suggest he was a Qunari spy.
But the servant was Orlesian. That implicates Orlais, not us.
But the barrels arrived at the Winter Palace on the Inquisition supply manifest.
How are we supposed to fight a war when we can't even trust our own people?
Do you know who got the barrels onto the Inquisition manifest?
Yes, several of the Inquisition's Elven workers have gone missing. I had their backgrounds checked. They joined the Inquisition after fleeing the chaos in Kirkwall.
I remember when Kirkwall was at its worst. Many of the city's elves converted to the Qun, trying to find a better life.
And the Qunari turned them into spies.
A few years ago, we railed at the mages at Redcliffe for becoming corrupt. We did the same to the Grey Wardens. Huh. Look at us now.
I fought to protect the Inquisition in this exalted council. And for what? So we could deceive and threaten those we claimed to protect?
Once we locate the spies...
This isn't about the spies. You hid the Qunari body. You've all but seized control of the Winter Palace.
We did what was right, not what was politically convenient.
Do you know what this has cost us with Orlais and Ferelden? They are planning to dismantle us as we speak. And perhaps they are right.
So, it's been getting worse. I don't know why. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know how much time I've got left. What I do know is that the Qunari need to be stopped. So I need to get to the Davarad while I can still fight.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Would you like us to inform the Exalted Council of the danger?
Yes. If we fail, the Exalted Council needs to know what happened.
I will inform them personally.
Leliana, I can...
No, your job is hard enough already. This is my responsibility.
I'll have guards ready at the Alluvion, in case the Qunari attack the palace.
Make her watch over you.
the Davarad. All right, everyone, get ready. Dragon's breath is an actual dragon?
Tethar! Bars!
Inquisition! Nira Tasiasara! Mirabas Adim Kata! You have come far enough, Inquisitor. No more.
Obviously need the dragon's venom. No dragon, no more man.
She's scared. She doesn't want to be here. They hurt her.
Ashara! Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Fen Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
Whatever you think I've done, mass assassination isn't a good moral high ground.
The South was poisoned by these elves' manipulations. It suffers just as you do now. You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition. Solus, agent of Fen Harel.
Damn it, Chuckles. What have you done?
Solus is an agent of Fen Harel.
Did you not know? We thought you were his ally. Solus tricked us all. He pushed a dying Qunari into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades. Hayden, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solus will not outlive you.
Whatever else, Solus was one of us. I won't leave him for Vidasala.
It's going to! Everyone back!
We've got to stop this before it kills you. Assuming we find him, maybe Chuckles can help.
Solus doesn't want to hurt people. He isn't that kind of wolf. The Qunari don't see.
That must be where Solus is.
Guy's headed our way.
Inquisitor. Antam, Ibrashal Gadim!
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata!
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Qunari to trouble me no further.
Solus.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
The Qunari believe you're an agent for someone who has taken the name Fen'Harel.
The Qunari reject myth and legend. If you told them of your meeting with Mythal, they would attribute it to a demon. I am no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Qunari believe.
You're Fen'Harel.
I was Solus first. Fen'Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
Our legends about you are wrong. I saw the truth as we traveled the crossroads.
You saw another story, written in desperation to give me more credit than I ever deserved.
You were a hero, Solus.
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen'Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evenurus would have destroyed the entire world.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dethara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. Your legends are half right. We were immortal. It was not the arrival of humans that caused us to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
You banished the false gods. You didn't kill them.
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evenurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
You said that the Elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. Crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evenurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
The Evenurus were Elven mages. How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evenurus.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evenurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the Elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Solus, Whatever you want this world dying is not the answer.
Not a good answer, no. Sometimes terrible choices are all that remain. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus?
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Tevinter Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died, and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
So, at least some of the stories about the Dreadwolf are true.
I did not lead a rebellion against immortal Mage Kings without getting my hands bloody. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
For whatever it's worth, thanks for the castle.
For whatever it's worth, you used it well.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization. And now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven guard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
I guess we owe you for that one too.
I hope it gives your people some final peace.
You control the Illuvians now.
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Qunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
Yes. I'm sorry. And we are almost out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
You don't need to destroy this world. I'll prove it to you.
I would treasure the chance to be wrong once again, my friend. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
I agree something must be done, but we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Canary.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
The Inquisition did not cause this threat. We informed the Summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Canary spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, none of us would be here to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Inquisitor.
You all know what this is? A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. I'm proud to say we accomplished that goal. We will honor the sacrifices of those who gave their lives in defense of what we stood for, and still stand for. Because our work is not done. Where we led in war, we will now serve in peace. The Inquisition will act as Divine Victoria's personal honor guard. Answering directly to her, we will transition from a military force into a peacekeeping organization. My own adventuring days may be done, but the Inquisition and its mission will continue.
Over the next several months, the Inquisition carefully gave over many of the duties it had held. As the Divine's personal guard and peacekeeping force, the Inquisition shrank to a more manageable size. Many who have served went home, though the remaining force was still enough to give pause to any who might threaten the Divine's plans. Those who served the new Inquisition were tested and checked thoroughly, in the hope of ferreting out any more spies within its ranks. With the Dragon's Breath disrupted and any hope of a swift victory dashed, the Canary retreated back to the north. Few knew what debates were waged in Parvolan, but not long after the Exalted Council, the Canary launched new attacks against Tevinter. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium off guard. Tevinter was soon mired in a war many feared could spread across Thedas. Cassandra continued her reign as Divine Victoria, rebuilding fractured alliances and settling the Inquisition into its new role as her personal guard. Her efforts were successful, and, for a time, Southern Thedas saw peace. Cassandra also spent time in the Hunteron Mountains north of Orlais, where she worked to rebuild the Seekers. For a time, the new Seekers remained reclusive, showing no interest in worldly affairs and working to a purpose few outside their order could guess. some believed that the end of the Inquisition as it had been heralded the destruction of the fledgling College of Enchanters. Having clashed with the Circle, the college now found itself without support against the newly elected Grand Enchanter, Vivienne. Fortunately, Grand Enchanter Vivienne grudgingly agreed not to destroy its terrified leaders, as a personal favor to Divine Victoria. The two institutions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the south, vying for power. Liliana continued to act as the Inquisition's spy master in its final months as an independent organization. During this time, she shared many of her responsibilities with her most trusted agents, including Charter, Rexer, and Harding. Many believed that Liliana feared that what lay on the horizon and was grooming successors in anticipation of the challenges ahead. Liliana continued her romantic affair with the hero of Ferelden, even though their respective responsibilities often kept them apart. Whenever she could spare the time, Liliana would join her love at a villa on the Waking Sea, the house from Liliana's childhood. Those days were deeply cherished, for both saw the troubles that were to come. With the Inquisition now answering to the Divine, Seira joined the Inquisition in officially retiring from scaring people in high places. By formal account and agreement, both would lead boring, safe lives nowhere special, doing not much at all. And with that comforting line, those in power continued their fragile lives as though all was back to normal. Meanwhile, Red Jenny, an entirely separate person not at all collectively embodied by Seira, the Inquisitor, and countless friends, continued to make a difference, or just have fun, where and when the impulse struck. With frequent visits to her Whittle, of course. Perhaps most unnerving was Seira's standing offer to the Divine. Quote, "When the knobs piss about with your left hand or right, call on Red Jenny to give them 2 fingers." End quote. Varric took up the role of Viscount, and with the help of his friend Hawke, rebuilt Kirkwall's damaged infrastructure. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as the major trade hub of the Free Marches. He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Prince of Starkhaven. With the Inquisition in its new role, the Bull's charges returned to taking jobs throughout Orlais and Ferelden. Fighting demons and clearing out the remains of Venatori forces, the Iron Bull did his part to restore order to Thedas. After the Inquisition transitioned to a peacekeeping role, Cullen and the Inquisitor were able to spend more time together. Cullen continued to serve as commander of the Inquisition forces, aiding the Inquisitor in service to Divine Victoria. That is, after a long overdue visit to Cullen's siblings, who were overjoyed to meet their new sister-in-law. Dorian returned to Tevinter to take his father's place in the Magisterium. As rumors flew about the Imperium's infighting, Dorian was spoken of often as a voice of resistance against corruption. Along with Magister Mayveris Tylani, he formed a group called the Lucerni to restore unredeemed Tevinter, a fight many thought hopeless. Those fighting by Magister Pavis's side noted that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisitor via message crystal. Whether for vital information or for moral support, these talks seemed to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight. Rainier was shown mercy when none was deserved, and set on a path of redemption. This gift so compassionately given needed to be shared. Freed from his obligations to the Inquisition, Rainier traveled Thedas, giving hope to the condemned and the forgotten. In the deepest prisons and pits of Thedas, he found, if not goodness itself, its potential. By showing faith in those who had none, Rainier lifted them up and made them into something better than they were. After easing the Inquisition's transition into the Chantry, Josephine returned to Antiva and her family. Thanks to the Inquisitor's help, the Muntilids were once again permitted to trade in Orlais. The next few years were a busy time, as many ships with the Muntilid crest were built and set sail again from Antiva's harbors. Soon, Ivni pirates with an ancient feud against Josephine's ancestors took to the seas, determined to rekindle the rivalry. Apart from Josephine's sister Yvette, nearly eloping with a dashing pirate on one occasion, Lady Muntilid took the development in stride. Cole returned to the Fade, saying that there was more pain coming, and that he knew where compassion would be most needed. He promised that his friends in the Inquisition would remember him, and that where the hurt was greatest, he would help. After the events at the Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances, as did elven servants across Thedas. None could say where they went, but those who believed the Inquisitor's story about Fenharal wondered just how large the Dread Wolf's forces were, and what the ancient elven rebel had planned.
My agents have found nothing. With the illusions, he could be anywhere.
Maintaining the Inquisition, even as a peacekeeping force, leaves us vulnerable to agents of the Dread Wolf.
But also gives us the strength to respond.
We will need to be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.